Hey, why are y'all so scared of everything? MAGA, you fake ass patriots. What is it with y'all that y'all so damn scared of everything, y'all? Y'all make me uncomfortable. Y'all are so scared all the time. Just scaredy cats of everything, you know? Did you get beat up a lot when you was a kid or something? Did you have an older brother or something just kick the crap out of you all the time or something? Just all the time. You're like an abused dog, you know, just always got your tail tucked between your legs, but trying to act tough, showing teeth with your tail tucked between your legs. You know, that's what y'all doing all the time. What is it that you're almost like paranoid, kind of like a crackhead, you know, like a crackhead takes like 2 steps forward and looks over their shoulder, you know, and has to see if somebody's looking at them. You know, that's kind of what y'all are. Y'all all on crack? Is that what it is? Y'all are on crack? That's a lot of people, and that's a lot of crack. Is that what's going on? Y'all should have watched New Jack City, y'all. That would have told you a lot to stay off the crack. And Nancy Reagan, she had a thing back in the 80s. Just say no. She had this thing that said, just say no. They used to have these commercials too that said they put an egg in a skillet, they'd heat a skillet up, and they'd say, this is your brain. And then they'd drop an egg in there and they'd say, this is your brain on drugs. You know, that's what you should have watched right there. So y'all are all cracked up. So what making y'all paranoid and scared of everything? Man, that's tough. Look, because I noticed y'all were scared of books. Have you noticed that you're scared of books, that the books are too woke? And that you want to set them all on fire. You're so scared of them. So scared you're going to burn all the damn books, you know. Books can't do nothing to you, y'all. They can't. I mean, I know they open and close like that, but it ain't a mouth. It's just a cover and a cover. And then pages ain't even teeth. They can't bite you or nothing. Can't do any of that. All you can do is read the words in there, you know. Just read the words, you know. Or somebody can teach you how, you know. So y'all are scared of books, and they're inanimate objects. They can't even attack you or nothing like that. You're scared of the sciences. That's another thing. You're scared of science. Now, the thing is you've been being told for like 35 years about this thing called climate change. You know, they started off calling it global warming, but then you was like, well, it ain't global warming because it still snows, you know. So, and that's just because it's the crack. It makes you stupid. Dang, I didn't think about that. And that's another thing that Nancy Reagan tried to tell us. If you smoke crack, it's going to make you dumb. You know, that's part of it right there. But anyway, so y'all was confused up with the global warming thing. So we had to rename it to climate change, you know, be more specific on you and stuff. You don't believe in it at all. That's a Democrat liberal hoax right there, made up by the George Soroses. You know, that's made up by the George Soroses, so you don't believe in it. But then when we have these weird weather events and stuff going on, you know what y'all do? I see you do it all the time. You say, that's the goddamn government right there. That's the government doing that cloud seeding on us right there, chemtrailing it. They're chemtrailing it up right there on top of us, changing up our weathers on us, screwing with us. It's the damn government, the secret military programs up there on us. No, it's just climate change. It's the same thing that people can try to tell you for 35 effing years, you know. So you're scared of some science, you know, scared of medicine, you know, scared of medicine. And medicine, here's the thing with medicine, it's supposed to help you, not hurt you. That's what they make medicine for. And they've been doing the medicine thing for a long time, y'all, for a long, long time. And it's gotten better over the years. You know, medicine used to be things, root beer was medicine, you know. That's how far it's gone. We had root beer as medicine. Now we've got better stuff than root beer, you know. We've got all kind of, they used to use whiskey as medicine, you know. Not anymore. We've got real medicine that helps people and stuff. Y'all are scared of medicine because you don't trust science. You don't trust medicine, you know. Oh, unless it's horse dewormer. That kind of medicine, you do some trusting up on that right there. Y'all would drink a 5-gallon bucket of horse dewormer in a heartbeat. You'll do that right there. For a bat disease, you'll drink you some horse dewormer, you know. It's the crack, ain't it? It is the crack. That does crazy stuff to you. It probably would make you drink some horse dewormer. I never even thought about it. Y'all. Man, y'all should have never got hooked on that stuff. It's bad for you. Then you're scared of everything else. You're scared of black people and brown people, gay people, transgendered people, and women having rights. You're scared of all that stuff right there. All of that's a lot to be scared of. outside of the science and the medicine and the books. That's even a lot more to be scared of. Man, y'all have to be freaking out inside all the time. That's got to be a miserable existence for you there. And see, the weird thing about it, y'all was talking about civil warring up with everybody just for 4 years straight. The whole time that Joe Biden was president, you was talking about civil warring up with everybody. And I was like, man, these people are tough out there doing some tough talk on this country. They're going to civil war. You can't even do it, y'all. That's right there. That's violence. That's real violence right there. And y'all were so scared of things that can't even bite you, like books. There ain't no way you could civil war it up. Ain't no way you could do it. You'd have a heart attack. You'd stroke out right there on the battlefield. You would, because you're too scared of everything. Because of the crack, apparently. The crack's got you all freaked out. See, and the thing is, you worry about other things that you shouldn't worry about. You worry about crime in a city you don't even live in. You concern yourself with crime in cities that you're 1,000 miles away from. You're 1,000 miles away from it, and it worries you to death that somebody else's crime there worries you to death there. Washington, D.C. there. You worried about that crime there in Washington, D.C. Y'all don't live in Washington, D.C. Did you know that? You don't even live in the Washington, D.C. You live far away from it there. And you're worried about their crime. Ain't that weird that you'd be worried about somebody else's crime like that? You worried about Chicago. Yeah, you don't live in Chicago. You don't. And you're worried about Chicago's crime. Los Angeles, there's another one. You don't live in Los Angeles, but you worry about Los Angeles crime. You do that all the time. That's what you do. And you know what I think it is too? It ain't just the crack. It ain't just you're a bunch of crackheads is what it is. You're a bunch of damn racists too. And you know that black people live in Washington, D.C., and you know that they live in Chicago, and you know that they live in L.A. That could be your problem. I bet you that's what it is right there, because it's another group of people that you're scared of because so you always have to point your finger at them any way you can. See, whenever Krasnov, Donald F. and Trump decided he's going to federalize up Washington, D.C., oh, y'all get behind that right there, don't you? Because you want to see him arresting up on some 14-year-old black kids, don't you? That's what you want to see. You want to cheer that on because you're a racist piece of garbage, But anyway, that's what you want to see. And you're not even living in that city. Do you know how strange that is, that you're so worried about somebody else's crime rate? Hey, what you should do, though, listen, this is a good idea. And maybe if you get focused on this, you'd stop focusing on other people's business. Keep your nose out of other people's business. That's the best thing for you to do right there. But that's just a little advice for you. But the thing is, I traveled all over this country, and guess what I do every time I arrive up in some small town somewhere? I Google the crime rate. That's what I do. I'll be like, I don't even know if I'm safe here with all these white people around here, I'd Google the crime rate. It's always higher than it is the big cities. Whenever you account for the population there per capita, it's always higher there in your little small towns. It always is. See, because it ain't just the crime, the violent crime that you got going on and stuff, but you also got the highest teenage pregnancy rates, and you got the highest meth epidemics going around out there. You got cops making backroom deals with judges out there. You've got preachers diddling on little kids out there, and all of that all the time there in your little small town. See, whenever Jason Aldean said, try that in a small town, hey, they're trying it in small towns all the time, Jason. They are. They're doing all kind of stuff in the small towns. That's why I couldn't figure out why he wrote that song. Try that in a small town. I'm like, they're doing it all in a small town, Jason. Daggum, man. You lived out there. You know better than that, So y'all were doing all that stuff in the small towns, and you're worried about what's going on in somebody's city for some stupid reason. And I'm telling you, it's got to be your racism. It's what it is, and your crackheads, And the thing is, with Washington, D.C.'s up there, if Krasnov, Donald F. and Trump, was real worried about the crime rate up there, he'd take himself off the street. What do you do? He's got 34 damn felonies. My Lord, he's out there running around free. That's crazy right there. He needs to lock his ass up right now. That's what he needs to get that FBI out there in that National Guard and lock his ass up. He needs to tell them, lock me up right now. I'm a 34-time convicted felon. Do you know what I'm capable of doing? Anything. And he had like 54 pending, That's a dangerous dude. He just stole Washington, D.C. He's worried about somebody stealing somebody's car. He just stole the whole damn city, That right there, 34 times, that's what you get for putting a 34-time convicted felon in the White House. They steal whole cities is what they do. And he's wanting to go after the Chicagos and the Los Angeleses. Hey, they're not going to let him steal their city. As a matter of fact, Philly said, come get it. That's what Philly said. They said F-A-F-O, Donald F. and Trump. That's what Philly's saying. Hey, and I'm with Philly. I might actually go to Philly to watch that go down. That would be fun to watch. So, but anyway, I was just saying, y'all were so scared of everything. And I think it's funny that y'all was out there talking about Civil War and up when they're like, literally, you're afraid of a book, you know? So anyway, I don't know what y'all going to do with all this. Donald F. and Trump ain't going to last forever. So you can't hide behind his dictatorship forever and everything. And by the way, nobody's effing scared of him, okay? And we damn sure ain't scared of you. You're scared of everything else. I mean, my Lord, look at you. Like I said, you're scared of books, and the damn things can't even bite you. Can't even bite you. So, and that ain't all you're scared of either. I mean, you're scared of bathrooms. My Lord, you're scared of bathrooms. What bathroom's that person using? What bathroom's that person? You're scared of pee-pees and poo-poos, y'all. Except that Fox faking news is pee-pees because you drink right out of their toilet. You know, the Fox News faking news, you drink right out of their toilet. You go, that's what you do there. So you like the Fox faking news toilet bowl. I mean, you love that thing, but you're always worried about what other people are doing. You're scared whether or not that Mike might be sleeping with Steve, you know, or Steve might be sleeping with Mike. We don't know. Is it hold a hole, pole to hole, hold a pole? We don't know how it's going down. We don't worry about it. That's the thing y'all do. Y'all always worried about whether they polling and holing or not, you know. That's what y'all worry about. That's why y'all crashed the Grindr server there in the Milwaukees, you know, up there looking for you a hookup with Mike and Steve, you know. That's what was going on there. See, you're worried that somebody else might be getting something you ain't getting. Oh my God, I didn't think about that. You're jealous. You're jealous of open gayness, and you're in the closet there with Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, all them fellers. Man, it sucks to be y'all. Plus, you're all cracked up and everything, man. Look, I'm sorry. You, like I said, you should have listened to Nancy Reagan and just said no. You know, Donald Trump should have too. He wouldn't be up on the Adderalls the way that he is right now, and he wouldn't be turning the White House into a pill mill all the time, you know. But anyway, I was just wondering why y'all was always so scared of stuff, everything, all the time, and now it's starting to make sense to me. It's all coming together to me now. You know, it's all coming together. What a terrible situation that you're in. Hey, also, you don't believe anything either, like the news. You don't believe none of it. You think it's all fake. Every bit of it. Court records and things like fake. It's all fake by the Democrats. Everything. You ever notice that? You don't believe anything or anybody. Not one single legitimate news source. Fake news. It's all fake news. Every bit of it. Fake news. Court records. Fake news. Fake news. Donald Trump gets, you know, sentenced to 34 felonies right in front of it. Fake news. Fake news. He gets found liable of raping E. Jean Carroll. Fake news. He steals from a children's cancer charity. Fake news. Steals from a wounded soldiers charity. Fake news. He literally is on the Howard Stern show saying, yeah, I walked into teenage girls' dressing rooms at beauty pageants because I own the pageant and I wanted to look at them naked. Fake news. He didn't. Took it out of context, what you did there. Tells a 16-year-old girl who'd be dating her in 10 years. Fake news. Taken out of context. Just taken out of context. That's what you're doing. Says that he has sex in common with his daughter Ivanka. Fake news. That's fake news right there. It's taking it out of context there, because I guess you tell your daughters all the time that you have sex in common with them too, don't you, MAGA? So fake news. Or if my daughter wasn't my daughter, I'd marry her. More fake news right there. Or actually referred to as a nice piece of ass again on the Howard Stern show. Fake news. Took it out of context. You know, just took it all out of context. Paying hush money to a porn star. Fake news. Fake news right there. That's his own business. That's his own business right there, what he did with that porn star while his wife was at home with her newborn baby. Or grab him by the kitty cat, locker room talk. You know, everybody says that. Just all the time. That's what men do. They talk to each other about just walking up to random women, grabbing them by the crotch. That's what they do. No, they don't. Anyway, all that, everything's always fake news. You don't believe anything. Not anybody in the world leaders, none. Everybody's wrong except you and Donald F. and Trump, and you're literally scared of everything. See, that means you've got mental problems, MAGA. Okay? I know you're not really all on the crack cocaines. I know that. It's just that you're all effing stupid and you're in a cult. All right? Inmate Trump.